Hello, YouTube. Neil with No Plot Blog here, bringing you episode 5 of Evolestria. And in today's episode, we're going to get back out to the man cave there and start landscaping again. So, in our last episode, we were working on getting Silk Touch for our hammer here. And I traded with some villagers, got myself an emerald, put it together with that the golden thread that we were looking at the recipe for. And we have the silky jewel. Nope, that goes over there. Combine those together. And we now have silk touch. So now when we come over here, let's find a little spot that I don't really particularly care about. All clean stone. Half the smelting. Okay, so let's turn our jetpack back on here. That was actually, I noticed a little bit earlier, that was very, very loud. So let's, let's just bring our master volume down to 20, see if that helps. Yeah, that's better. Still a little louder than I'd like, but... Oh, I'd hope if I had the waypoint on too, so I can find my way there. No, not find. On. There we go. On. Oh, no, I turned it off. Okay. Where are you? Oh. Okay, or I'm just headed in the wrong direction here. 1,200 meters. And I don't have much to do on the way. Oh, actually, I do have something to do on the way there. So, um, new viewer to the channel pointed out to me on the second episode there that I had skipped over, well, pretty much the entirety of Mechanism. Um, and that was really terrible thing for me to have done. I apologize for that. Mechanism is like my tech mod of choice, so I really don't give it a whole lot of thought when I start going into it. I mean, I usually have my atomic disassembler within the first hour, hour and a half of me playing. It's kind of a routine. So I didn't even think about the fact that you, the viewers, would be interested in seeing how I put these things together. So what I'm going to do, I mean, I've got my atomic disassembler, but once we get the man cave to a point where I feel comfortable stepping away from it for a bit, um, I think our next village will be more of a post-industrial type city. And we'll get into a lot of mechanism there and also a lot of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics has a lot of really neat power generation in it that also is very aesthetically pleasing. So we'll kind of get those two together there and see if we can't build ourselves something nice and kind of show off how those two packs work together as well. So we're getting pretty close here, about another 200 meters. And really, actually, I'm going to be doing more excavator work than hammer work to begin. Wait, no. We're going to be using the hammer to clear out the grass. That's right. Here we are at the man cave, and I still feel like I need to do something with that fire pit in the middle. Maybe. Oh, turn that off. That's going to drive me nuts. Ooh, don't get your buttons backwards here. Maybe I can. Later, I'll test and see if ramps work with the nether rack to create the eternal burning. Whoops. Okay. The thing about a hammer is it always has to be from on top while we're doing this. So let's just clear out a little bit here and make sure I got my dirt down in my inventory because We're going to clean this area out and fill it in with dirt so the grass can grow. And pretty much that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to come through, just tear out where the stone is and replace it with dirt. So I'm going to pause the video here, kind of get that going, and I'll get back with you guys when I've got a good terraforming going here. Where's my stop recording button? Not stopping the recording. Okay, and I've kind of done a little bit more on the landscaping here. Let me turn my jetpack on. Actually, that still seems very loud. Let's, ambient environment, blocks, players, maybe? Yeah, that seems to be it. Let's bring that down to 17. There we go. That's much better. I apologize if on the flight over here that was too loud. I just realized that was ringing in my ear. But still have to work on this side of things, but I am going to be adding one more tier to the scaffolding there. So I kind of want to get that in so I know where everything needs to be carved in and whatnot. And still have a little bit of dirt to dig out here and replace with stone, but not much. Most of this over here is done, but what I really want to tackle right now is this waterfall. So let's just kill the jetpack there. So I've marked out the border of where where the waterfall ends when I pour the stream down. And I want to kind of put a little lake at the bottom there. So we're going to pull this out. Now I've already created myself an infinite water supply over here to help. But basically, so we know the waterfall ends here, and we kind of want it to feed into this lake down here. So we're going to want to start digging the lake out here and end it somewhere past this torch line that I've put down. This torch line that got broken somehow, but that's fine. But we don't want to touch any of these blocks up here. We want it all to be down this way. So I'm thinking just do a 1-point drop right about here. And to about here looks good. We'll just go ahead and dig this out. I don't want this to be too huge, but let's kind of figure just a little bit past the torch line there, I think. So right about to here is what I'm thinking. And then come down a bit. We can come steep there. There. And there. There will be good. Right about there. Yeah. And then let's just give it a little bit in the middle here. A little bit more. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll get rid of these stones here because it should be a dirt bottom on this. Now the tricky part is getting this filled in and at the same time making certain that the water is stable. And the easiest way I've found in the past to do that is to put some block down across the entire face of the thing and fill it in rows. And you'll get a little bit of an undertow, but that actually kind of works with what we're doing here because it'll have that kind of waterfall feeding down into it, so there would be a bit of an undertow to the lake. And just want to lay these across the whole thing, even though for some of it doesn't really affect things, but it'll give me a good boundary of this is where the lake is at. I only have one bucket out here with me, so this is actually going to take a minute. So I'm just going to do like the first row and a half on camera here, just to show what I'm doing. And then we'll pause the video and I'll go ahead and finish it up. So we get all that filled in, and then quite simply I just come through, break the first row, and put my buckets down. Like so. And then we can go ahead and break the next row. Rinse and repeat. And it takes a little bit longer this way than just laying the buckets down, but it'll give us a nice, consistent, still water here, so that the only flowing water that we have on this will be from the waterfall up there when I put that back. And I actually think Buildcraft is a part of this mod pack. Oop, I missed one. So, I mean, technically we could... There we go. Technically we could use Buildcraft and build a floodgate to do this, but it's our first village. Let's do things the old-fashioned vanilla way. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, get the rest of this filled in, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back and just getting these last few spots. It looks like I just have to fill the one. Awesome. So let's, and after you start getting working across there, this does end up becoming an infinite water supply, so you can just keep filling it that way. But let's put the waterfall back in and see if this worked out the way I hoped. So it should flow down and into the lake, and actually going to bring that up there just to give it a little more depth at the end there. And I think I actually want to bring the lake out just a skosh right there. Just think that'll end up looking a little more natural. There we go. So we have ourselves a nice little lake here. So I think the next thing we need to work on here, after filling that up, because that shouldn't be there, excuse me, is we need to determine the actual border of the village now. So we know it's going to come out past this lake a little bit, and I'm just going to mark it down with torches for right now. So we know we want to come out past this lake a little bit. We'll say right about here. And then it would need to come kind of in. I don't really want to make a circle, but maybe kind of like an angle here, and then it'll straighten out to there. And actually, we're going to leave that there and then bring it in there. And a lot of this is going to have to come down for this. Still terraforming at this spot, so... But it should actually sharpen in a bit here, so... And about there, and then we'll say about there to there. And of course this is just our initial layout for the boundary. Once we actually start putting up the fence, this is liable to change. Then we're going to kind of circle in this way a bit. And we want to end up against this wall here. So that's kind of a rough layout of the edge of the village there. Um, I do think, even though I'm using the hop seeds over here, which have not caught fire yet, yay, I think I'm actually going to use these eucalyptus um, for the outside um, barricade. So let's just do switch to vine mode, and actually let's make sure my inventory isn't filled up with all sorts of useless stuff real quick. Which it is, of course. We can get rid of the dirt and the cobble and all that stuff for now. That gives me enough room. So let's cut down these two right here because they're inside the fence line. We do want to leave some eucalyptus up, and I'll probably actually end up cutting all these down and then replanting, but vein miner don't work so great for eucalyptus, do it? No problem. No problem at all. That gives me a few logs to get going with, and then I'll go clean that up. So, let's put that down where the dirt is. Oh, no. Oh. I want to grab those barriers that I had for carpenter's blocks. Carpenter's barrier. There we go. I actually think the sun is taking a set here. Well, not quite enough. So let's see if before it gets to scary things are popping out at night, let's see if I can get a little bit of this laid out just to show what I'm going to be doing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to say. And I'll worry about tying it into the rock wall there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And part of what I want to do is make sure these aren't even. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks really dark. So probably what I want to do, make sure those aren't even, because we want it to look like just kind of something they threw up, not, well, let's not use the word threw up. That makes it sound like they got sick. Uh, something they put together kind of haphazardly. Um, Again, it's not really the right era for them to be worried about an invading army. Why am I bothering with that? I have a jetpack. Um, I need my carpenter's barriers down here. It's not really the right era for them to be. I fell. Worrying about an invading army. This is mostly just to keep out bears and tigers and what have you. I don't need the bucket down. There we go. And then I want to put another one on top of that. But we want to skinny that one out. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. There. I think I'm going to have to do this from on top. So the only problem with the jetpack is sometimes it doesn't. No. No, that's not the texture we want there. Hmm. Okay, maybe I can't do the barriers the way I was hoping. That would change things a bit, wouldn't it? And not the hop seed, we want the eucalyptus. Hmm. Well, I guess that doesn't look. That doesn't look horrible. We get a little more of this eucalyptus wood and do a couple more of those just to see how I feel about it. Just to see, because what I want to kind of give the impression of is that it's sharpened to a spike on top of these. So, oh, that's problematic. That I did not consider. But let's see if. Well, maybe that won't work the way I hoped. Maybe I just put the spikes on the tall ones then? And not the short ones? See if that looks incredibly funky. Oh, well, there it placed the way I want. Well, first let's see if this looks terrible, and then I'll fix that one over there. Not terrible. Um, I can deal with the spikes only being on the tall ones. And it'll give it a little bit more of a random element. And yeah. Yeah, I think I'm actually okay with that. Let's come back here and look at it. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I am okay with the spikes only being on the tall boards, and then the short boards just don't have them. That looks okay to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here for a minute, kind of get some eucalyptus together, work this around the whole border there, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back, and I've got the border of it all laid out here. Um, I'm liking, I'm actually liking the spikes on only the tall ones. That actually looks good to me now that I've got it going. I did not bring my energy cube out here with me, and aside from that, the lack of being able to vein mine effectively with the atomic disassembler um, is really becoming problematic for this. So I'm flying back to the base here to recharge my jetpack and my atomic disassembler. And when we get over there, I think I'm also going to get materials together and make ourselves a I forget what the tool is called, a lumberjack axe or broad axe or something like that. But another tinker's tool that'll help us to. I'm not going to have enough fuel to get back. Another tinker's tool that'll help us
Well,
to complete this build.
this is
So
slightly
I'm headed back
embarrassing.
over to the base, get everything together, and I'll be
What we're
right back
watching
with you.
here is a severely edited down version of what I had originally recorded. It seems that for whatever reason, while I was recording the video for the last two sections of this episode, my microphone was not recording anything. So it's not a huge deal. I think all in all, we're losing about 5 minutes of video time here, and I'm stretching that back out as much as I can through this commentary. But basically, what we missed in the last section there, I went ahead and finished up the wall, and I did make my lumber axe. and actually added haste to it there with some redstone, which is working brilliantly, by the way. The eucalyptus are coming down fast at this point. So, I really apologize, and I've clipped together, kind of the highlights of what I had done there. Um, and yeah, hopefully this isn't a problem in the future. But anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, despite the awkward ending, please hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comments below explaining, what you liked about this video, anything you think we can do better, or just say hi. Um, and in the links below, we do have a link to the Feed the Beast website where this mod pack can be found. We also have the pack code, which is Designtech. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. And as always, keep gaming.